Everyone to our Elmore County Commission work session dated Monday, November 23rd, 2020. We'll call this meeting to order. First, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Sheriff Franklin, our elected official who's joining us today, and all the others who are in attendance with us. We appreciate you being here. We will begin with our regular business. The first item is to review the minutes of the November 11, 2020 Commission meeting. Are there any comments or questions? All right, hearing none, we'll move forward. Review the memorandum of warrants for the period of November 4, 2020 through November 17, 2020. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, with the period of time stated, the memorandum of warrants was $820,402.81.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? All right, hearing none, we will move forward with our public hearing. Public hearing for a 011 Lounge Retail Liquor Class 2 Package Alcohol License Application by SAI Path, Inc. for Lions Pride Spirit and Wine at 17049 U.S. Highway 231, Titus, Alabama 36080. Is there anyone here in opposition of this liquor license? All right, seeing none, I do want to recognize the owners of Lions Pride Spirit and Wine. We appreciate you being here. Are there any questions or comments from any commissioners? All right, hearing none, we will move forward with our old business. We have consider 3 appointments to the Elmore County EMS Board. Appointments are due today, November 3rd, 2020. We have 4 candidates listed from our previous meeting. They are Lois Pribulik, Steve Dennis, Eric Jones, and Christopher B. Colley. Mr. Byer, are there any additional changes to be made to the listed candidates?
Yes, sir. Since the production of the agenda, we have had Mr. Steve Dennis withdraw his name for consideration, and Mr. Brandon Cardwell submit the appropriate candidate form.
Okay, so a removal of Steve Dennis from the list of candidates, and that was his request, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Brandon Cardwell is an addition to consideration for one of those appointments.
That is correct.
All right, thank you. Are there any comments or questions regarding any of these candidates listed for these 3 appointments to the Elmore County EMS Board? All right, hearing none, we will move forward. Consider 1 appointment to the Elmore County Department of Human Resources Board. Appointment due November 23rd, 2020. The candidate listed is Ms. Laura Peters. This is the only candidate listed and currently serving on the Elmore County Department of Human Resources Board. Are there any comments or questions regarding her candidacy? All right, hearing none, we will move forward with our new business. We'd like to invite Sheriff Bill Franklin to address the commission regarding additional security proposal from District Attorney for the judicial complex. Sheriff?
Okay, I think the last 2 or 3 months, I have I've been in discussion with our District Attorney, Randall Houston. We've talked about trying to add additional security measures, not replace or modify what we've got, just merely add to what we've got. He's at a place now, I think, where he can help assist us. He's willing to offer up monies for a contract employee, which would be a post-certified deputy that would be utilized by us to operate inside the courthouse. The base salary is, I believe, $36,816, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm reading that right, and the entire package with benefits is $52,826. Now, that comes with a stipulation, and that is that in the event Randall Houston or one day his successor or whatever decides that they want to do away with that, then that guy goes away. If he's a good guy and he's post-certified, it may be that one day when we have an opening, and that's what we'll tell the applicant that applies, that if that were to go away, that in the event we do get an opening and he's doing a good job, that we could possibly absorb him into an open spot that we get. So whoever takes it has no expectation that he's locked in. Mm-hmm. He understands it's a contract only. So that's not a problem.
Okay.
But it would only be as long as he provides the monies.
Appreciate that. So how do you view that position in terms of security? That would be someone that was just made available in the judicial complex at the request or participation of the judges, or?
Yes, I think from listening to them, they really recognize that Elmore County is probably a little bit more voluminous than the situation that we have in our other courthouses in, I'd say, Autauga and Chilton, which is the 19th Judicial Circuit. So, I think he readily identifies with that, and he understands the importance for security. So I think that's a win-win for us. We have 4 individuals right now. 2 are on at any given time. Excuse me. And but those guys are not armed, and they're not post-certified. They cannot effect an arrest. This will be a guy that is post-certified, that will have a gun, that can effect an arrest in any of the courtrooms. Right now, I have 2 individuals that are upstairs that are in the courtrooms.
Right.
I think y'all are familiar with that. But they scout around, and they pretty much stay in one courtroom where that judge is, but they can go to the other and branch out. If they're needed downstairs, they can come. They are post-certified. They are armed. Both of them are retired law enforcement personnel. But this would be a guy we're looking for somebody that's active, that's probably a younger guy, probably got a few years' experience, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Great. Are there any comments or questions from any commissioners regarding this proposal from the district attorney?
Sheriff, I appreciate you working towards securing our courthouse, courtrooms even more so. I remember my first term, this last term, I got the phone call from a judge saying, will you please get bailiffs in our courtrooms? And I couldn't believe we didn't have bailiffs in the courtrooms. So we were able to facilitate that. So I appreciate you working with the district attorney to help take that up another notch and, again, improve the security to protect our citizens and our judges in there as well, and our employees.
We're blessed that all the personnel up there, including the judges and the clerks and everybody, work well with us. We've got a very good working relationship, so I think this will only expand that.
From a bookkeeping perspective, is he paying this directly, or is funding coming to us and then we're paying this individual?
The item that you would have consider in the business meeting would be a budget amendment that where it would run through. He'd be a county employee, or he or she would be a county employee, and we would get reimbursement back from the DA office.
Great.
I told him I'd get back with him. I didn't know if they would reimburse Rhonda.
Right, through your HR over there.
Monthly, quarterly. She suggested probably quarterly would be all right, and yearly, she's okay as long as they get the money.
Okay, great.
Don't get the money, we ain't got to worry about it.
All right, thank you. All right, we will now move to our next item of new business. We have Mike Mitchell from Waste Management. He is the government affairs representative to come forward. I believe he has a guest with him today, and we will hear from them regarding the transition from advanced disposal to waste management. Mike?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commission, first of all, I'd like to thank you very much for giving Waste Management the opportunity to come in and introduce ourselves and speak to you tonight. My name is Mike Mitchell. I'm the public sector rep for Waste Management. I handle all the municipalities throughout the state. And it's my job primarily to serve as a point of contact and communication. It's my job to make sure the communication is fluent and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I have with me tonight the district manager of the Montgomery area, as Van Forster, which is a resident of Elmore County. And he is going to present to you, tell you where we're at and where we're going to go.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, Commission, and everyone here. Like Mike said, my name is Van Forster. I'm the Senior District Manager for the Montgomery and Opelika operation. I do live here in Elmore County. In fact, I live in Tallahassee off of Neiman Road. I had some other staff that was coming tonight. They also live here locally. So this is a locally run operation. We're 3 weeks into this. I think everybody has a really good idea of where we are right now. But I can say that, we have, in the 3 weeks, we have taken the equipment that we acquired to a different level. We're actually able to run routes with the trucks that we've got completed now. Went through last week and addressed the compensation situation that was going on with the employees. So now we feel like we've got some good trucks. We still got work to do, but we've got them some trucks that are operational, that are doing the right things. We've got them compensated fairly and the way they should be, so that they understand how they get paid now. So see, our next step is to work on taking those together and work on the customer service side of it. We're going to be safe first and foremost. Then it's working on that customer service that I know that we're going to get there through our training, through our coaching, myself, my staff. This is what we do every single day. We work on this every morning. We're doing our leadership huddles, continually working on our skill building through role plays, through these things, so that we can coach our drivers the right way to do the right things. And once we get that piece into play with our drivers, they'll have a new understanding of what customer service is, so that they're not running away from a phone call or away from, a screaming customer, but acknowledging, engaging that. This is going to take a little bit of time to get where it is that we really can be. So right now, Montgomery, all of Montgomery is scheduled to do the customer migration into our system in February, starting February 1st through March. So once that customer migration happens, we'll have true visibility as to what we're doing. Customers that we're servicing, the technology that we have in our trucks. There won't be any more 8, 9-page route sheets. It'll all be computerized on a tablet. Where we're looking at it from a GPS locator standpoint. We've got our plan versus actual. We'll know exactly what time one of our trucks are in front of an address, how many containers they serviced, and so on. And we use that to go back and coach, to work with it, to improve our customer service, and continually elevate them as far as what they're doing out there on the routes, make sure we're doing the right things. Eventually, we're piloting some programs already across the area where you'll get a waste management app and put it on your phone, and when you want to know, when's my service going to happen, you can look it up on your app, because we do have things sequenced the way that they should be, supposed to be. You'll get a time bucket of in a 2-hour time bucket of when that truck will be there. So there's going to be some things that the residents will be able to use, tools that they will have, the ability to change service, start service, stop service, to do these things just from their phone. So we've got some really good things ahead of us. We got to get there. In the meantime, we're continually working on streamlining our communications. I know that we've got some hiccups on our side. From the email, the Elmore County email coming in, but we're working on those to streamline that, to get it to more people, to address those things and get the needs, those specific needs, to the people that can make them happen, to my route managers, to this and that. Poor Jennifer Seabrook, and some of you might be familiar with her. She did come over with us. And the amount of emails that she's getting in on any one day, it's, nobody can get through those. So once we get that system kind of up and going, a better communication system and program, we should start getting past these missed pickups. We should get past the cart deliveries. I've got our team up in Franklin working on those now, so that we can get a better idea of when, and work from the oldest carts. I don't think there's a real system in place currently. So, it's something that's high on my priority list, aside from getting our folks compensated the way they should be. So, those things are happening. We should see a pretty good turnaround in the next few weeks of the carts, and it has the attention of myself and on up the chain to get those delivered in a timely manner. We measure ourselves on everything. How much time we spend on customer property, how much time we spend traveling, our carts, containers. Our front load trucks have videos that show what we dump in the containers. We're working on that in some of our piloting some of that with our ASL trucks. So we have a lot of good things coming on, but there's some things that we have to do kind of the old school method right now, just to kind of get us to that hump until we get the customer migration in. So again, we're here. My route manager, I have a route manager that lives in Elmore County in Slapout. My fleet manager lives in Tallahassee. We've got a lot of Elmore County employees. So I'm excited about what we have, where we're going to go, and the things that we're going to accomplish here.
Well, good. Well, Van and Mike, we appreciate both of you being here today. I think that you're familiar with the history that we've had with advanced disposal, and I think that we as a county commission have made it very clear our expectations to advanced disposal, and regrettably they didn't fulfill our expectations or the citizens of Elmore County. And so I can tell you that this county commission and our staff we'll be your biggest cheerleaders, and we'll trust you and look forward to working with you until we get burned. So let's just not get burned, and then we'll be ready to continue to try to communicate the things that you just shared. Some of the components of patience. We're working on some migration of customer data and all of those things, which I think each of us recognize that does take time, and most of our citizens and your customers recognize that. It's just a matter of communicating that to them, and that has been a bridge that has not been very well managed up to this point. And so, we've got a great way by which we can communicate with people. If holiday schedules, all of those things, we can help you get that information out. It saves us the phone calls and the Facebook messages and all those other things. So we want to do that and help you with that as much as we can. So please, our staff members that you can communicate with regularly and make sure that that's going. I'm excited to hear about the digital and technology usage that you're going to have, the app and just the technology on the trucks. I think that's going to make a big difference and something that will help in real time for all of us to know what's going on and what the expectations should be. I think the primary two concerns that we have right now, one is trash cans, the actual can themselves. We have a lot of people who have been continually contacting us about either missing cans or haven't gotten a can and, requested it 3 weeks ago or a month ago and still don't have a can. So that's one issue. And then the other is, the customer service aspect and where those calls are being routed to and how people are being responded to. So, but we'll, again, be your biggest cheerleaders and look forward to getting things off on the right foot. I have, at our previous meeting when we were all sworn in, each of the commissioners have some areas of responsibility where they're liaisons in certain areas. And obviously you'll be working with Richie Byer and Luke McGinty and others with our highway department. But Commissioner Henry Hines, who represents District 1, is responsible for infrastructure and waste management, and some of those contracts and agreements that we have with you fall under that. So, we'll encourage him to work with the highway department, to work with y'all on any, issues that we may have or opportunities that we may have as the county continues to grow. So thank you very much. I'll turn the time over to any commissioners who have any comments or questions for the gentleman from Waste Management.
I appreciate very much your coming tonight. What you've told us is very encouraging, and I'm glad to know you live in my district, so we know where to find you.
That's right. I'm not going anywhere.
Obviously, I'm being facetious, but thank you very much for coming. Thank you for sharing that information, and I'm very excited about what's coming in the future for our Elmore County residents.
And I'm excited, too, that you live in Elmore County. I think advanced disposal employees were under witness protection, and no one knew where they lived. I don't think they were willing to tell us. So that's great. Any other commissioners?
Yeah,
Transition much needed. Thank you so much, and I'm so excited to hear about the mobile app. I think that's going to save Henry on a lot of phone calls that we defer to Mr. Hines over here.
I appreciate you coming in. Mr. Forrester, I look forward to working with you.
No,
And
absolutely.
I've been in office 12 days now, I believe it is. And I would say 80% of my calls have been about trash. And Richie will vouch for it even when he was off. I had ladies calling me because the trash wasn't picked up, and we were trying to get a hold of someone and couldn't. And one lady actually emailed me today and said, hey, they got her trash, thank you. But I look forward to making a smooth transaction. And, you know, trash is a major problem that in our county and every county and across the United States. And we need to work together to be the best that we can be at taking care of that problem. I love to see someone to come into Elmore County, and that's how big signs come into Elmore County the Beautiful. And that's how we can do that, is by getting rid of our trash. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Forrest and Mike.
Mike, I know you've been here before to hear some of the conversation in our meetings about our trash problem, and it sounds like you have prepared Van well for it. Because Van, if you just do just 50% of what you said you're going to do, you're going to improve our service 100%. I mean, you know, when I go home in the afternoons and I decide if I'm going to take a walk through the neighborhood based on the trash service for the day, that's kind of how it's been. I appreciate your words. I think it's very obvious that this commission has been willing to work with our trash contractor, which really is seen in the email address you had mentioned, the trash@elmorecl.org. We're having such a difficult time trying to explain to citizens, would just call their customer service number, and they would be on hold for 45 minutes at times. So that was one way we thought we could take some pressure off of everyone to get those issues directly to us and communicate them to the prior contractor. But I'm encouraged to hear you're going to work on that, because all people want to have done is their trash removed. That's it. And we understand people have problems. So we're encouraged to see what's going to happen in the future. I appreciate y'all being here tonight.
Good.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is to consider the Crosby Drinkard Group LLC Governmental Affairs 2021 contract renewal. I will first mention we've had an agreement with the Crosby Drinkard Group for the last 4 years plus, actually, in regards to their service with local legislation. We have several items of local legislation to be considered in the 2021 legislative session, some of which have been discussed in the previous months, and they are already working hard with the Legislative Reference Desk in getting legislation drawn up for our review. They do an exceptional job. As all of you know, relationships matter in that industry, and it's important to have people who can work directly with not only the legislators, but the Legislative Reference Desk and others who help us put together legislation that will hold up and stand the test of time. They've done a great job to this point. I know they've worked with our legal counsel as well on many matters. Are there any comments or questions regarding this?
In the past, we've had several local bills, even in the last couple of 3 years, and just to reiterate what the chairman has said, we couldn't have had better service and prompt service. Sometimes you need to get these things through very quickly before a deadline, and they've been a tremendous asset to this county. I know going back to 2011 when I was first elected, or appointed, I should say. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to consider ratifying appointment of Christopher Sisson to represent the town of Elmore on the Elmore County Emergency Medical Services Board. Next item, consider ratifying appointment of David Rogers to represent the city of Tallahassee on the Elmore County Emergency Medical Services Board. And the following item, consider ratifying appointment of Greg Willis to represent the city of Wetumpka on the Elmore County Emergency Medical Services Board. This is a process in which the county commission ratifies the appointments that these municipalities have already made on their own. The next item is to consider one appointment to the Elmore County Healthcare Authority Board, appointment due January 11, 2020. As each of you know, Ms. Desiree Lewis was elected to the county commission to represent District 5. She had been serving on the Elmore County Healthcare Authority Board, and therefore will be, or has already, or close to resigning from that position and this will be the replacement for Commissioner Lewis on that board. We received today a letter, I think each of you have a copy, from the Elmore County Healthcare Authority Board with 3 names for consideration for this board appointment. Those 3 names are Joyce Lloyd Davis, Linda Lewis, and Dana Walters. I think that some of these individuals have already completed a board appointment candidate request form. I know that Linda Lewis has at previous times. I'm not sure about the other 2, but if they have not, we'll need to get them to fulfill that expectation of completing the appointment candidate request form.
That's correct.
Are there any comments or questions on that? All right, hearing none, we will move forward. Discuss agency agreement and resolution for National Voter Registration Act voter notifications postage. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is a routine agreement with the Secretary of State to be able to send out notices, but also they do a purging of the voter list at this time, individuals that have not voted, and there's a process that they go by to also be able to get back in touch with the Board of Registrars to, I wouldn't say challenge that, but if they're erroneously taken off, to be able to get that corrected. So.
Okay, thank you. Next item, consider resolution to widen, level, resurface, and traffic stripe Marshall Road from Fire Tower Road east 4.43 miles to Redland Road. Any comments or questions, Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, this is a 2-part project. As y'all are aware, we were just awarded high-risk rural road funds for some safety widening on Marshall Road. There's actually some additional funds coming through the MPO to do the resurfacing and restriping of the project. This is the resolution that activates the process with plans and approval and will allow the project to go through the ALDOT letting to be able to accomplish this work.
Thank you. Next item, personnel notifications. Notification of promotion of Jesse Locke, deputy to investigator, effective 10/26/2020. Notification of hire of Sylvia Ivy, tag clerk, replace V. Strickland, effective 11/22/2020. And now we'll advance to reports to the commission. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, just a couple items. We're actively working on our rebuild reports that are due at your first meeting in January. Those will have to be read into the minutes and then posted on our website, as well as one of the reports will certify our compliance with the percentage of rebuild funds meeting the 50% minimum that goes to contract. So we will have those. I believe the ACCA is going to set a deadline of January 1 for those to be in so they can be compiled and sent to the Joint Transportation Committee, Senate Pro Tem, and the Speaker of the House. We are actively working on the base agreements for our levelized lodging. This past month was the first month we started getting proceeds in, working out the kinks with those collections, but working on our base agreements with the municipalities that would partake in any of the levelization amounts. We are also working with the City of Millbrook on 17 Springs contracts. We are to the point now to where the city and county are in a position to move forward with the design and construction of Phase 1. We're working on those actively with mainly the city, because the city and county are the 2 participants on the front end. They're putting funding into the project. We'll bring in the Board of Education as we get closer to being ready to go to construction. Last week we submitted our large CARES Act reimbursement. For those of you who recall, we were allocated about $2.3 million out of the state's federal allocation. We have till December 30th to get our reimbursements in. Currently, we've submitted about $2.15 million to Department of Finance to seek reimbursement. We'll wait to hear back from them on all the categories that we submitted for, and in the meantime, we'll be working towards the last $150,000 or so that we were allocated. We will keep any additional costs that we have that are above that allocation in the event that something is done with a new Congress or in the weaning days of the current Congress in terms of extending the deadlines or allocating other funds. And as the chairman mentioned with the Crosby Drinkard contract, we're working on some local legislation with Mr. Drinkard and his staff and trying to get some base language worked out on a couple of the items. We'll be in a position to present that to the commissioners for consideration of the language and the wording here pretty soon on just about every item. So, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have in the way of report. Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you. We appreciate that report. We'll now advance to reports to the commission, or from the commission. We'll begin with Commissioner Daughtry.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything at this time.
All right, Commissioner Mercer.
Thank you, Chairman. Today, the County Commission announced the fact that I have been appointed to NACO's broadband task force, and I just want to say what honor I felt that I have been given to serve on that committee. There were 39 commissioners from across the United States that were appointed to it. We had our first call last week, and our purpose is to identify, in part, public-private partnerships that have been put in place across the United States that have ultimately resulted in the positive expansion of broadband access in counties, and just share general information about what's worked and what hasn't worked. I can tell you, after listening to some of the other commissioners discuss what they have done in their counties, I can tell you that I'm very proud of the way that Elmore County approaches working with our Economic Development Authority. We pretty much have done like we would handle any other economic development project. We identified what our needs are, what was the capacity we had in our county, and then we gathered the data and used that to position Elmore County to receive investments from other providers. As we have all seen, Central Access, subsidiary of Central Alabama Electric, they are expanding in Elmore County now, and we've been working very closely with them. So I look forward to continue on this task force and do what we can to learn from other counties so we can continue to promote the expansion in our county. Also, a report from the ACC Legislative Committee that I serve on. We had our first call here about 10 days ago. One thing that continuously comes up when we have these meetings is the need to change the 2015 sentencing reform, the prison sentencing reform in the state. One of the purposes of that legislation was to reduce the number of state inmates in state facilities. And actually what's happened is those numbers have been reduced, but those inmates have wound up in county facilities. And that's because of a mandate that was in the 2015 legislation that were state inmates that were guilty of parole violation, they would have to spend 45 days in a county jail. These inmates get in our county jails and they stay much longer than 45 days. It's costing the counties across Alabama a tremendous amount of money, and that's one item that will be addressed again this next session. Last thing I have, Chairman, is unemployment rate for Elmore County. In October, we had a unemployment rate of 4.5%, with the state average being 5.8%. That is down for Elmore County. In September, we had a 5.3% unemployment rate. So that is encouraging news for our local economy. I appreciate our Economic Development Authority for all the work they do to work toward having a stable economy, and it is sure showing up. Chairman, that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Hines.
Chairman Stubbs, have one thing. the storm recently that really tore up our county. I'd like to thank the Highway Department for the great job they continue to clean up our roads. They had a task that probably was the worst they've had in a long time, and I've been out traveling on the roads, and it's great to hear our citizens commend Luke and the whole group, Richie and them, that they're removing these trees that's on the side of the roads and cleaning up our roadways, and that's great, and that's just an honor to have great employees like we have that dedicate themselves to clean up our county. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Lewis.
No report.
All right, thank you. I appreciate my fellow commissioners, their commitment to serve the citizens of Elmore County. I think that there are many opportunities for us to serve above and beyond our respective responsibilities as commissioners. I hope that all of us are taking the opportunity to serve others during this Thanksgiving week and this holiday season, looking for ways in which we can give freely to others. I will mention one item of business. We are addressing and have collected data from the registrar's office and the probate judge's office regarding the voter registration rolls in the county and the respective precincts across the county. As many of you are aware, we had some precincts that were overwhelmed with voter participation, coupled with the COVID restrictions and requirements with social distancing and capacities of the facilities. There were some longer than usual waits at some of our precincts. So we're evaluating all of that data so that we can make sure that we have adequate precincts, number of precincts, and adequate facilities to accommodate all of those who are participating in exercising their right to vote. So we look forward to analyzing that data and working towards positive solutions for the citizens of our county. We will now turn the time over to Kimberly for important calendar dates.
This Wednesday, November 25th, the courthouse will close at noon and remain closed through Friday, November 27th in observance of Thanksgiving. Thursday, December 10th will be the employee Christmas breakfast here at the courthouse at 8 a.m. Monday, December 14th will be our first commission meeting and our only commission meeting in December. That'll be at 5 p.m. with the business meeting following. Thursday, December 24th and Friday, December 25th, the courthouse will be closed for Christmas. And Thursday, December 31st and Friday, January 1st of 2021, the courthouse will be closed in observance of New Year's.
All right, thank you. We'll reconvene shortly. Welcome to the Elmore County Commission business meeting dated Monday, November 23rd, 2020. We will call this meeting to order. We will begin with an invocation offered by Commissioner Hines, following which Commissioner Daughtry will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Congratulations, Father, thank you for this wonderful day you presented us with. Lord, go with us as we are leaders in the community, that we may lead for you and be ambassadors for you, Lord. Go with us and we may make the right decisions for our citizens, that they may better our kingdom. Congratulations, Father, again, go with us and direct us and lead and guide us. In thy name is thy prayer, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Let us stand, please. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Kim, would you call roll?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Here.
Chairman Stubbs?
Here.
Commissioner Mercer?
Here.
Commissioner Hines?
Here.
Commissioner Lewis?
Here.
We'll proceed now with regular business. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the November 11, 2020 Commission meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of warrants for the period of November 4, 2020 through November 17, 2020?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve a 011 lounge retail liquor class 2 package alcohol license application by SAI Path Inc. for Lions Pride Spirit and Wine at 17049 U.S. Highway 231, Titus, Alabama 36080?
Chairman Stubbs, I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Proceeding now with old business, will someone please make a motion to appoint individuals to the Elmore County EMS Board? The listed candidates are Lois Pribulik, Eric Jones, Christopher B. Colley, and Brandon Cardwell.
Commissioner, can I make one motion for three?
Yes.
I'd like to do Mr. Lewis, Mr. Eric, and Mr. Christopher.
Okay, so the candidates listed or the candidates in the motion are Lois Pribulik, Eric Jones, and who was the third?
Christopher Coley. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I meant, it's my mistake, James Brandon Cardwell.
Oh, Cardwell.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so the motion is to appoint Lois Pribulik, Eric Jones, and Brandon Cardwell.
Yes.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
All right, Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to appoint Laura Peters to the Elmore County Department of Human Resources Board?
Motion to appoint Laura Peters.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis? I'm sorry, Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Now we'll proceed with new business. Is there a motion to approve additional judicial complex security position for Sheriff's Department to be funded in whole by the District Attorney? Position will remain in place as long as funding from District Attorney is in place. Motion includes necessary budget amendments to account for the position's wages and benefits along with the reimbursement revenue from District Attorney.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve Crosby Drinkard Group LLC Government Affairs 2021 contract renewal and authorize chairman to execute?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve ratifying appointment of Christopher Sisson to represent the town of Elmore on the Elmore County Emergency Medical Services Board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve ratifying appointment of David Rogers to represent the city of Tallahassee on the Elmore County Emergency Medical Services Board?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve ratifying appointment of Greg Willis to represent the city of Wetumpka on the Elmore County Emergency Medical Services Board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve agency agreement and resolution for National Voter Registration Act voter notifications postage and authorize chairman to execute?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve resolution to widen, level, resurface, and traffic stripe Marshall Road from Fire Tower Road east 4.43 miles to Redland Road?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.
Proceeding now with personnel notifications. Notification of promotion of Jesse Locke, Deputy to Investigator, effective 10/26/2020. Notification of hire of Sylvia Ivy, Tag Clerk, replace V. Strickland, effective 11/22/2020. Are there any additional reports to the Commission? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs? Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis?
Yes.